Good morning, viewers. I am Dr. Radhika, professor in computer science and engineering. Now, in this session, I am going to explain the conversions of number systems. In the last session, we have discussed about what are the different types of number systems, and also we have first of all defined what is meant by number system. Okay, so we have four different types of number systems. The first one is binary, decimal, octal and hexadecimal number systems. So now in this today's class we are going to discuss the conversions of number systems. In the conversions of number systems, totally we have four different types of convert systems. So each number system we should be able to convert to other three types. So here we have discussed that decimal is the default number system. First of all, we will see how to convert from decimal to other number systems. So here we will see first one is from decimal to binary number system. So whenever we are considering decimal to binary number system, so here we will consider the decimal number. So first of all I will explain with a small number, and then I will go to some big example. So first of all I am taking a small number, that is 13. So what is the base of decimal number system? It is 10. So now this 10 must be with the 13 with the base 10, it must be converted to binary number. So what is the base of binary number? It is 2. So now we have to find the equivalent binary number for the decimal number 13. So how we can convert it? So all are familiar with the LCM. So LCM means, so here what we have to do is we have to perform the LCM with the base of to which number we want to convert. So here we want to convert into which number system? Here we want to convert into binary number system. So that's why here we have to use the base 2. So first of all we have to find the LCM with which one? With the base 2. That is the base of the binary system. So whenever we are performing division in computers, so here we say that we have two different types of divisions, not like in mathematics. In mathematics we have only, whenever we are performing the division, we say that we will get the answer in the decimal points. But in the case of computers, we say that we have two different types of divisions. One is called as integer division and another one is called as floating point division. So whenever we are considering the integer division, so integer division means, suppose if both the numerator and denominator both are integers, then this integer division is performed. Suppose excluding this case, that is, suppose if one of the two division operators, one is float and another one is of another any type. So if one operand is float, then floating point division is performed. So here whenever if you consider, here we are trying to divide 13 with 2. Here 13 is integer and also 2 is integer. So here what we have to do is we have to perform integer division. So how it will be performed? I will also explain how the division is done, how the integer division is done. So for example, if you take 13. So 13 when divided by 2. So it is same as in mathematics. So that is, so for example, how many times 2 will be given for 13? 6 times. That is 6. So 2 6 are how much? It is 12. So 1. So in the difference between the integer division and the floating point division is, in the case of mathematics, you will put a point here and you will add a 0 and the division process continues. This is same as in this is the process that is done in mathematics. The process is same in the case of floating point divisions in computers also. But in the case of integer division, so the process will stop here. So once if 2 is not divisible in this number, means the process will stop here. So that's why the division stops here. So whenever if you have performed this division, here we say that 6 is the coefficient. We call it as 6 as the coefficient and this one as remainder. So here we will get two answers. One is the coefficient and another one is the remainder. So here we have to consider both. Here we have to consider both the values. That is, the coefficient value must be placed here and the remainder must be placed here. Okay. So this is how you can perform the integer division and how to place the values here. Okay. So now 13 is divided by 2 and the coefficient is placed here and the remainder is placed here. Next one is, what you will do is, again you have to continue the process. So again 6 must be divided by 2. Even 6 must be divided by 2. Again you have to follow the same process. That is, so here now again 6 is divided by 2. So once 6 is divided by 2, how many times? So it is 3 times. 3 2s are 6. So the remainder is 0. So now again you have to, this is remainder and that is coefficient. So now again what you have to do? You have to place the coefficient at this location and you have to place the remainder here. Okay, and this process must be continued until you get a 0 here. So see, now I am continuing this process. Again it should be divided by 2 and then what we have to do? Then again we have to perform the division. So now again I will perform the division. So here what will happen? So now 3 must be divided by 2. How many times? Only one time. 2 ones are 2. Now what is the remainder? 1. So here both are coefficient and remainder both are 1. So now what we have to do? We have to write 1 here and also the remainder 1 here. So it will not stop here because I told that here we should get 0. So that's why again 1 must be divided by 2. This is also very important in the case of integer divisions. Generally the students will do a mistake here only. So once 1 is divided by 2. So how the process? So generally by seeing this, just they will say it is 0.5. So that is the wrong answer. So it will not be done like that. So here what will happen is, if 1 is a bigger number than 2. So that's why it is not possible to divide. So that's why how many times? It is 0 times. So 0 2s are 0. And what is the remainder? 1. So this is the main difference for integer division and the floating point division. So here the students will do the mistake. So you should not do this mistake. So this process continues till this step. So that's why what will happen here? So here now again it is divided by 2. And now what is the coefficient? The coefficient is 0 and the remainder is 1. And the coefficient is 0 and the remainder is 1. So now this process will stop here. It is the end. Here it ends. So once you get the 0, the process ends here. So this is how you have to perform the LCM while converting a decimal number to binary number. Okay. So now you have to write the number. While writing the number, you have to write the number from bottom to up. That is, this must be written at the which place? At the, so from this must be written as the first place. So that means the number that is equivalent to 13 is, and the base is 10 is equal to, the number answer is, what is the answer now? So you have to write it from bottom to top. So that is 1, 1, 0, 1. So this is the equivalent binary number for the decimal number 30. Okay. So this is how you can convert a decimal number to binary number. So this is how we can convert from decimal to binary. Now we will see how we can convert the decimal to binary. So that is the reverse process of this one. So here also the base 2 is mainly used. So see, now first of all I will explain how we can convert the same binary number to decimal number. Because here if you convert the same binary number to decimal number, what will happen is you should get again the decimal number as 13. Then only we can say that our total process is correct. So checking will also be over here. So now first of all, here I will take the number as 1101 as the binary number. Now I will convert the number to decimal. So now I have to find the equivalent decimal number. So what I have to do is now, so what is the base of binary number? In this here also I told that it is performed LCM with 2. So here also what you have to do? You have to use the same base, that is 2. So first of all you write the number like this, 1101. So here you have to take, so already in the last class we have discussed about the place value. So for a decimal number we told that this is the 0th place and this is the 10th place, 100th place, like that. So here also that is how we got those values, 10 power 0, 10 power 1, like that. So here also what you have to do is you have to give the places from 0, that is 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2 and 2 power 3. So you have to give the places value from 0 to 2 like this. So once you have given the place values like this, what you have to do is you have to perform the calculation now. So you start writing from here, that is 1 into 2 power 0 plus 0 into 2 power 1 plus 1 into 2 power 2 plus 1 into 2 power 3. So you are multiplying this particular digit with the power of 2. So like this you are performing for each and everything, for this one, this one, this one and this one. So all the 4 has been performed like this. Now you perform the calculation part. So what is the value? So from here if you assign, it will be easy for you. 2 power 0 is 1. 2 power 1 is 2. And 2 power 2 is 4 into 1 plus 2 power 3 is 8 into 1. What is the equivalent value? It is 8 plus 4 plus 0 into 2 means it is 0 plus 1. 1 into 1 means 1. So now what is the value? 8 plus 4 it is 12. 12 plus 1 it is 13. So what is the equivalent decimal number for 1101? It is 13. So 13 is the equivalent decimal number. That is, you can write 1101. The equivalent, this is the decimal number, and the equivalent, it is the binary number, and the equivalent decimal number is 13. Did you get the same answer with whatever we have started? We have started with 30. It is the same answer that we got as the answer. Suppose if you get the same answer, then this both the process, that is converting from decimal to binary is correct, and also converting from binary to decimal is also correct. Both the conversions are correct. So this is how you can cross check. Okay, you can cross check. Suppose if you are asked from decimal to binary means you have to perform this process, and if you are asked from decimal to binary means you have to perform this task. Depending upon the question that has given, you have to follow the process. So this is how you can convert the decimal to binary number system, and also the reverse, that is binary to decimal number system. So this is how to convert. This is one. Here we have explained two different types of conversions, that is one is decimal to binary and another one is binary to decimal. So in the next class we will see the other types of conversions. Thank you. So if you like my video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel.